Hi guys, welcome to this video. So until now, we have completed around 19 parts, which we have done in previous six videos. Okay, so in this video, we are going to create our 20th part and some other parts like within this time. I don't know how many parts we are going to complete in this video, but we are going to complete some more parts here. Okay, so at the last video we have completed this primary turbine case. Okay, so now in this video we are going to create a bearing case as our 20th part. Okay, so for that part, let me just open this, yeah, this bearing case. Okay, so this is the part that we are going to create now. So this is a kind of similar part which we have done for the previous primary turbine case. It is a kind of similar part. So we can create this part in our assembly itself. Okay, so I'm just directly going to create and enter the part name as bearing case. Okay, so then create features. So now I'm going to create my offset planes for this. Okay, okay, okay. So now let's turn on all these datum planes. So let's go for the sketch view. Sketch and the sketch view. Okay, take a reference for the previous sketch like this. So we are going to create one more case from here. So solve, close. Okay, so let's see what they have provided in this diagram. At first, let's see here. So this is the part that we are going to create at first. Okay, so here the total length is 140. Okay, so the height from the central pane, they have not provided the value. Let's go for this. Let's identify with this diameter. So the outer diameter radius value of 270. Okay, good. And then what else do we have? Yeah, at first let's create a reference for our sketch. So I'm going to draw a constructive rectangle from, yeah, like this. And then I'm going to adjust this length and this length. So this is going to be 140 as the total length of this part, and the height value as 270. Yeah, we have seen that radius value, right? So this is going to be the distance value. So then we can start sketching our part. We can go for this and okay, and here an angle of 8.1. Okay, and this will be 30. Okay, so now I'm going to create a normal line from this edge, yeah, from this top edge to this, and I'm going to assign this height as 30, and then one more line from this edge, yeah, from this edge till this constructive line, and we need to assign the angle for this. So from this constructive line till here, like we have seen the angle right in here, like 8.1, 8.1. Okay, so then what else we have in here? We need the small surface. So that will be like the distance, the radius value as 254. Okay, so for that I'm going to create a line like this, and for the dimension, this point to this center line, yeah, it should be a value of 254. Okay, so then I'm going to create a line from this edge to this, and we can see the value here. This distance, okay, so this height will be the distance for that, or else like yeah, you can see here. This will be 3, and on the other side it will be 5. Okay, so if everything is 3, we can directly go for the offset, but here in this side it will be 3, on the other side it will be different. Okay, so like this. Okay, and a parallel line like this, and then we need to assign this dimension like this length value as 5, and then one more line from here, this will be 5, and like this. Okay, so this will be 5. So now let's delete all the unwanted segments. Okay, good. Like let's have a check on this edge from here till here. It is 5. Okay, good. So we have completed this sketch. So we need to create one more feature for this. Okay, so let's go for the diagram again. We need to create this feature. So for that, it has 125.02. Okay, at the distance of 5. Okay, so we can plot a point here, and from this reference till here, it will be 5, and the height value, like from this to the midplane, it will be the value of 125.02. Okay, so now we have created this point. So for this, I'm going to create a constructive line. Let's see the distance for this line. So it will be like 55 here. So I'm going to create a constructive line like this. So this line length, it will be 55. Okay, good. So now I'm going to create a normal line like this from here to this reference, and from here to this reference. Okay, so then like they have provided a value angle value of 320 here. So select this line, select this line, click at the outside. Let's enter a value of 320 here. Okay, so we have entered the angle of 320. Like so if you go for this dimension, it is 20.60. I need it as 20, and here it will be automatically turned as 20 as a midpoint. Okay, so yeah, it's good. So you can also mirror this part by mirror this line using this center line, or it may be a constructive line. You can use this constructive line for mirroring if you don't want to edit this angle on a feature. Okay, so good. So now let's extrude this line up to this reference. Okay, I think that's fine like this. They have extruded up to the reference. Okay, so then on the top line it will be 50. Okay, it will be here. It will be 50. Okay, and then this height, value of 50. Sorry, 30. Okay, from here till here it will be around 30. Okay, so now we need to create the same feature for our offset. So the offset length that they have provided is 5. Okay, so let's go for the offset loop. So this entire path, and the direction is towards outwards. So we need it as an inner side. So I'm going to add a negative value for this -5. So then, yeah, that's all. We can close this sketch. Okay, so we have completed these two sketch, and yeah, we need to add one more thing here. What else? So this surface. Okay, so for this they have provided 58 at the same distance of 5. Okay, so let's create a point somewhere else like this, and this distance as 5. Okay, 5. And then the height, like from here till this center line, it will be like 58. Okay, good. So then, like from this point, like we can able to create this part by using the reference, right? So we can directly go for this reference, and I'm going to draw a line like this, and we need to know about this distance. So this distance value is 33, right? Yeah. So 33, good. And then from here till down, they have mentioned any value for this. Yeah, it will be 13. Okay, good. And from here till here, it will be 13. Then from here till here, so yeah, here from here till here, they have provided a value of 34. So 34 here, and then we can directly draw a line up to the top reference. Okay, good. And we need to create one more line like this. So this distance is of 24.34. Yeah, good. Select this line and the dimension as 24.34. Okay, okay, good. So the next thing that we have to create here is this curved surface. Okay, so for that, this is not a kind of curved surface. They have created as a straight line for this. So yeah, so at first I'm going to create a constructive line from here till the reference of this constructive line. Okay, good. So then, like, um, yeah, let me change this 43. I don't want this 43. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so let's create a constructive line from here till here, and I need this distance value as 29.46. Okay, okay. So then, let's draw a normal line from here till here, but for that we need to take a reference for this line. Close. Let's draw a line like this, parallel to that, up to this constructive line reference. Okay, good. And then I'm going to extend this line up to the constructive line that we have created. Okay. So we have created this sketch. So I'm going to offset this. So go for the offset loop. Select this entire loop. And here I'm going to offset this -3. Okay. So then I don't want, like you can see here, yeah, we don't want this because we here this is like a straight line code. So yeah, I don't want this line, and this line. I'm just directly going to merge this like this. Okay, and then we can complete our sketch by joining these edges. Okay, good. It has three sketches. Okay, so now let's create center line, and then we can go for the revolve. Okay, it looks really good. Okay, so now let's go for the next feature here, like the feature which we have done for the previous part. They have provided here the cut here, the shape, same 40/20. Okay, good. So now I'm going to sketch on this surface. So sketch this surface. Let's check whether it is selected here. Okay, sketch and then go for the sketch view. So here We can take a reference for this. Okay, so I'm going to use a reference like this because it has the same value, right? So we don't want to waste our time for creating other dimensions. We can directly join this by using a reference, okay? And then for this, we need to create a center and its ends arc. And from here till here, and one more arc from this center point from here till here. Okay, sketch has been completed. I just need to view the axis. Okay, so then, and for the next thing that we have to do is creating the holes like here. We can do this on the same sketch itself. So I'm going to take a reference for, okay, like we can directly go for this circle. You can directly project this. Okay, good. So now we can click on OK and let's go for the extrude here. And we need to flip the direction. Okay, but here we can't able to select this as a through all extrude because this height value is different and this height value is different. Okay, so we need to enter a depth value of 3. So I think this will be extruded all over the part on this face. And then pattern, axis pattern. Select this central axis. Okay, good. Looks good. Okay, so then we have to pattern 8. Axis pattern number is 20. Okay, 20 equally spaced. Okay, so now you can see the part we have used as a reference that has been created perfectly here. Okay, good. So now I'm going to repeat the same on the other side here also. So I'm going for the sketch on the surface and let's go for the sketch view. But here I think the same dimension will change a little bit different for this. Okay, so which is the left view here. Here I think this is the view here. So we need to create this with a radius of 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going for the constructive circle like this, and the radius as 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now let's take a reference for this top sketch, close it. So now let's go for the arc here, like center and its ends arc here, like from here till here, equal on both sides, and then adding from the center. From here, okay, I think we don't have any. Yeah. Okay, we can directly place this, or we can edit in this dimension. Okay, so let's go for the dimension, like from here. Okay, we don't have central plane here, right? So take a reference from this plane. So close. Okay, good. So now from here till here, I need a distance of 20, and from here till here, you can see here, I need this value as 10 and this value as 10 as equally spaced. Okay, so then I can able to join this edge by using a line. So we have completed our sketch. Okay, so let's click on OK. Let's extrude this, flip the direction, remove material. Okay, so the depth value of 5 here. Okay, so then let's go for the pattern here with axis pattern. But yeah, we need to select the axis, right? So let's turn on the axis display, central axis, and here it is the same as 20, equally spaced, and then okay. So now on the next thing that we have to create a hole on this feature. For this, like we can use the same which we have done for the previous part. Take a reference for this all these four edges and you can draw a constructive line on this diagonal part. Okay, from here till here and then a normal circle like this. Let's see diameter of the circle. Okay, it will be the same as 8. Okay, so I'm going to enter a value of 8 for this whole. Okay, so then click on OK and let's go for the extrude. Oh, I think like that is no hole feature for this. Okay, so we don't want to create this feature, so I'm just going to delete this hole because like they have not mentioned the whole feature for this. They have just mentioned this extrude cut feature. They have not inserted any hole for this. Okay, so the next thing that we have to create is these blades which are placed inside this part. Okay, so uh, like we can go for this view and the ellipse height as 80, the ellipse width as 5, and here I think they have not mentioned any angle for this. Okay, let's go and see like what we are going to create. Okay, so for this I'm going to click on this datum 2. Let's go for the plane feature. Okay, datum 2 and sketch and then sketch view. Okay, so here I'm going to create a center line like this as a vertical center line, and we need to create this center line on the mid plane like this. So we can directly go for this, select this from here till here. Okay, I think it is got sync with something else. Yeah, I don't want this center line. Let's create it as a separate thing for that. Okay, we can create it like this. See, like they have provided any value for this, like this distance value. They have mentioned it as 60, so we need to put that dimensions like from this edge till the midpoint it is 60, right? This edge to this midpoint it will be 60. Okay, good. Okay, so then we need to create an ellipse here, so let's go for the center and axis ellipse like this. So let's hide all those data planes. Okay, so here I need this dimension value as 80. Okay, and this distance value as 5. Okay, so let's see, like they have not provided any kind of angle value for this, but instead of that, they have provided distance value of 6.95 on each side. Okay, so let's go for the dimension. Let's select this edge point, this reference. It is 6.95, right? Okay, so on the other edge, it will be like same as 6.95. Okay, so we don't want to edit that. Okay, so let's click on OK. Let's go for the extrude. So yeah, so this extruded depth, like you can see in this diagram, it is from the inner circle outer to the outer circle of inner. Okay, inner of the outer circle. So let's go for the options. Side one, two selected. I'm going to select this face. Yeah, so this face here. Okay. So then for the side two, I'm going to select maybe like outer line or inner line. Let's go and check on the diagram. Okay, okay, the outer surface. So we have to select this surface. Okay, it is not created perfectly, but yeah, we need to select this surface. Okay, try to remove this. Yeah, I think it's good now. Okay, so now let's click on. Okay, let's see whether it has any intersection with our old part. Okay, it looks good. So now let's create a pattern for this part. So go for the pattern, axis pattern, go for the axis view, and here I'm going to select this center axis and make sure that you are selecting the central axis here. Okay, so now the axis numbers as 20, not for this holes, it is 20 for the blades. Mm, yeah, for the blades also it will be like same as 20, so we don't want to worry about that. 20 equal is placed. Okay, so we have created blade for this feature also. Okay, so we have completed everything that they have provided in this diagram. Yeah, we have completed this. And what else do I need to create? Like they have mentioned the hole here we have created, and they have mentioned like there is no hole in here, so we don't have to mention that. And okay, like we have missed for creating this inner holes, right? So we have to go for that for creating the hole. So let's see where is the dimension. Yeah, here. Like they have mentioned for this the hole as 4 mm dial and what else like the hole height. I think we can take a reference on that. Okay, so let's go for this. And let's sketch on the surface, sketch, and then go for the sketch view. So here, I think we doesn't have any kind of feature for this. Okay, so let's create a circle on this, and for the dimensions. Okay, I think just as some coincident relationship for that. Okay, we need to take a reference for this. Sorry. Okay, so now let's draw a circle here like this, and this diameter of 4, and this height like this height. So this height value as 122.50. So this is the previous part height value. Okay, it is got placed. So let's click on OK and let's extrude this. Okay, okay. So for this extrude, like we can go for the remove material. Okay, so for this depth, so this distance value is of 5, right? So I'm going to enter a value of 5 here. Okay, so then go for the pattern as axis pattern. Let's go for the axis of display here. Now we need to select the axis, central axis, then axis number as 20, equally spaced, and then okay. So now we have completed this part exactly based on our dimension which has been provided on the diagram. Okay, so let's save this part. Let's open this part separately. Let's go for the save this part, close this, and let's make it as active and make our entire assembly active. You can regenerate, save it. So we have almost created up to 70% of our entire jet assembly. Okay, so then we need to create some more parts in this. Okay, so we close this drop down. So we have created around 20 parts. So let's go for the next part. Okay, so that will be let's close this first. So for the next part, we are going to create like a turbine case. So this will be the turbine case. Yeah, so this is the one that we are going to create in this. Okay, then go. Yeah, I think this will be easy when compared to the other parts. Okay, so okay, let's go for the sketch. Let's create a new part in the assembly. Okay, let's create our new and let's enter our part name as turbine and turbine case. Enter create features. Let's switch on the datum planes and let's create our new offset planes. Okay, okay, okay. So now we can able to create this in the assembly itself. So let's go for the sketch and sketch view. Okay, so we are going to create this cap for turbines. So we are going to create this case for all these five. Okay, so let's continue with this part. Okay, so let's take reference on this first. See what else we can have here. So let's take solve, close, and let's see the diagram. Okay, so this is the part that we are going to create it now. Okay, yeah. So this will be 135, and this will be 101 for 2. Okay, so let's create a line like this from here till here. So let's go for the dimensions from here to the midpoint. Okay, I don't want this midpoint, delete that. So here I'm going to add a value of 135. Okay, and from here till here I need a value of 101.42. Okay, I think that's right. Yeah, 101.42. Okay, it is created good. So then I'm going to take a reference on these all these parts. So reference here, here, here on all these edges. Okay, and reference for this edge, and this edge, and this edge, and this edge. Solve. So now we are going to draw a line on this reference. Okay, so we can just go for the line and draw a line up to this, this, this. Okay, so we have to do this for all the parts. I think so. Wait, just a minute. Yeah, so we have to convert this for all the edges here, here. Okay, so now we have completed a sketch here on the surface. So let's see the total length of this part for this. It is 179, right? So let's draw a constructive line from this point to here. It will be like around like 179. Okay, we have created here. So yeah, let's extend this line from here to the reference. Okay, so then let's create one more line here. So this height. So this height it will be like 129.65. Okay, so let's draw a line from here till here, and this total height from the midplane, it will be like 129.65. Good. So let's create one more feature for this. Like we need to create an offset feature for this, so the distance will be 5. Okay, so click here. Distance is 5. Okay, so let's draw one more line towards the downwards, and this distance, like from here till here, like it will be 5, right? Okay, yeah. So I think I have overlined this feature. So from here till here, yeah, I have one more line here. Okay, I think there is some bug in this. Okay, 5. Okay, so let's have a total height of this 33.58, right? So this will be 33.58 minus 5. Okay, so now this distance will be 5 automatically. Okay, so then I'm going to create one more line like this, and this line distance as 15. Okay, and then one more line towards the top, and for this, like we need to know that exact dimension like this. So this will be like 109.42. So let's go for the dimension from here till this reference. It will be 109.42. Okay, so then what else do we need to create here? And yeah, we need to create offset for this also. This this distance will be the phi as same. Okay, so now we have completed this. Now we need to go for this feature. Okay, so up to this we have completed. So from here till here it will be 20, and from here till here, yeah, it will be 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay, good. So I'm going to line on this edge. Okay, so let's have this total length as 20, and one more line like this equal for this line, and equal. So here we need to add a value. So at first we need to select this dimension. So this will be 3. Okay, so we can directly enter a value of 3 here, and line like this. It will be 20, and line at the bottom equal, 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 and this is 20. This will be 3, and this will be 20. Okay, so then we need to draw one more line like this. Let's take this equal. This height value was 3, and let's create another line as 20. Okay, so now we can able to directly join this by our reference. So we need to just create one more line like this height value as 3, and I'm going to draw a line up to this, and then a line from here to here. Okay, so we can just delete this. I think this corner here, you can see it is not merged. Okay, so we have completed our sketch, right? So 1, 2, 3, and 4 extruded part. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It should apply. Okay, so our sketch has been completed here. So we can directly go for the lower center line like this and close this. Let's go for the revolve. Okay, this part is created good. It's a short view on this. Okay, good, good. Okay, guys, let's click on OK here. And then now let's open this part, separate the part, and then I'm going to save this part. And here, like we need to create some whole feature for this, as you can see in this diagram. And yeah, for the rights, for the left face, and for the right face, it is same 122.5, and this diameter value of 4, and this is 4. Okay, so I'm going to select this left surface, sketch, and then go for the sketch view. So here, at first, I need to take a reference on this, close it. Now I'm going to draw a circle here with the diameter value of 4 and this height as 122.5. Okay. Okay, so now let's extrude it. So flip this depth value of 5. Okay, pattern it for the axis pattern. Go for the axis view, axis, and this pattern as 20, 20 equally spaced. Okay, and for the other side, you have to do the same sketch and then go for the sketch view. So here, let's take a reference from this plane, solve. Okay, same circle at a diameter of 4 here, the same distance of 122.50. So it will be anyway, it will be coincidence on this old reference. Let's extrude that, flip the direction, the depth as 5, the same. Okay, pattern it, axis pattern, click on this axis, and this will be 20 and equally spaced. Okay. So now we have completed our part with all our dimensions. So let's just save this part and let's go for the assembly. So this part is created good. So let's go for the active and once more let's active for the entire part. So let's go for the regenerate and then save our part. So yeah, we have almost completed 21 parts here. So let's go for the 22nd part. So the next part that we are going to create is petrol intake case. Petrol intake case. Okay. So we are going to create this part. So this part looks like a simple part, but it is very complicated. As you can see here, it has more dimensions here. Right. It will be similar. It will be simple, but we need to implement more dimensions. Okay. So let's create this part into this assembly itself. So the part name as petrol intake case, create features. Let's create offset planes. Okay, sketch, and then go for the sketch view. So let's hide all those datum planes except the plane display. So here, like we are going to create this part. Okay, we're going to create this part on here. Like we can go for the petrol turbine. Okay. So this is a petrol intake bracket, right? So we have to create this case, create a case for this petrol intake part, petrol intake bracket. Okay. So yeah, let's take a reference on this, like here, solve. Okay, so now diagram, and let's see what else do we need to create in this part. Um, okay, the total height is 129.65 from here, and for the bottom till this, so it will be 85.01. Okay, and this distance as 5. Good. And what else do we need to see? 5 and okay, so this distance, we need to find this distance. Okay, so let's see. Did they have mentioned anything on downwards? Okay, yeah, so they have mentioned this value as a 5. Okay, so let me take this as a reference value. Okay, so now we have taken reference on this line, so let's go for the line. And yeah, I'm going to draw a line from here till here, and let's go for the dimensions from this point to the center line. Like, yeah, it will be 129.65. Okay, so that meets the center like here. Okay, and one more dimension, like from this point to the center line, it will be 85.01. Okay, so I think this got placed on the reference line. Okay, good. So now on this line, okay, from this we need to create a filter for this. So I'm going to draw a line like this and like this. Okay, so for this line, I'm going to enter a value of 5. Okay, and one more line. Okay, let's go for the dimensions. Let's check. Okay, so this line it will be like 96.5. Okay, so let's delete this and let's create one corner rectangle from here. Don't make a coincident relationship. So like this, and then dimension like from here till here, it will be 96.5. Okay, so then this length value as 5, and this will be 5. Okay, so let's delete unwanted lines, like I don't want this line. Okay, so this is the overlapping line here. Okay, so then I'm going to add a one more line here, like from here till here. Okay, okay, let's go for the diagram one more time. Okay, so now let's delete all this and let's continue with this. Okay, so here at first I'm going to create a corner rectangle, yeah, up to this reference, and Okay, so let's adjust this length as 5, and from here, like I mentioned, like from here till here, like it's a value of 96.5. Okay, so now let's delete these segments. We don't want this. Okay, so now at the top, I'm going to do the same as equal length of 5 and drop like this. On here, I need this like from here till here, it will be 5. Okay, so now I'm going to create one more line from here, the same distance of 5 and 5. Okay, so now let's create a line up to this reference and for the top. Okay, so let's check that it is okay. Okay, but this distance value is 6, so it's for the dimension, and let's measure is 6 or not. Okay, 6. Okay, it looks good. So let's create another feature like we have to create a line from here. Okay, let's go further now. And here this distance is 23. Okay, 23. And the next thing that we have to create is this curved line. Okay, with the angle. So for this 31.15, so let's create a constructive line from here till here. So I don't want this equal constraints here. So this will be 31.15. Okay, good. So now let's draw for one more line from here till here as placing with this height reference and for this length reference. Okay. Okay, so then we can draw a line like this straight line. Okay, so this will be like 73.52. Okay, 73.52. Okay, it will be crossing here. So we don't want to worry about that. We just take a reference on this and let's delete this. Okay, so this will be 73.35. I think that like there will be some minute mistake which may be in this diagram, or it may be like while creating these parts. It may be like point 0, like 0.15, like this difference. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Like we can create this, and like from here, like we need to create a height value for this. Okay, you can see here it is 1.5. So let's draw a line from here till here. Like this distance is 1.5. So it will be anyway, it will be based on this reference. And then one more line like this. So this distance, excuse me. So this distance, it will be 20. So let's enter a value of 20 here. Okay. So we have created this up to this reference. Okay, good. So now we need to create a top line for this up to this reference. Okay, let's create a line from here to this height, or else like we can create a constructive line for this height reference, and then we can draw a normal line up to this. Okay, so then we need to create the same again, like distance of 5 and this distance of, like, yeah. So this distance of that value is the same for this value also. So let's go on with the 5 value again. So from here till here, it will be 5, and from here till here, we need to add a dimension like from this line to this point, it will be 5. Okay, so then what we can do here is we can draw a straight line up to here. Okay, so this line will be the intersecting line, so I don't want to create this line with a distance, so I'm just going to draw a straight line up to this. I don't want to mention any kind of dimension for this. Okay, so then I'm going to create a one more line which is parallel for this. Okay, so we can also make a line like this parallel for this line, and this distance value like from here till here it will be the phi, right? So it will be the offset diff distance between these lines. Let's delete this, and yeah, and we can able to delete this. Okay, we don't want this, and like we can directly draw a straight line up to this, and then let's delete this segment. Okay, like we have done our sketch perfectly, so then we can directly create our center line, and we can go for the revolve option. Okay, so this is the part we have completed here. So let's click on OK. So now we need to create whole feature for this. As you can see here, the whole distance is 122.5 as the same for before, and the whole dia is 4. Okay, so select this surface. Okay, so go for the sketch and select this surface, sketch, and then go for the sketch view. Okay, so let's hide all these planes. Oh, sorry, like we need to get a reference for this plane, so I'm going to take the setup center plane as my reference. And now we can hide all these planes. So I'm just going to create a circle on this reference. So this diameter value of 4. Okay, so I have a coincident here. I'm going to delete this. And now this diameter value of 4, and this height, it is 122.5. Okay. Okay, so we can extrude this. Go for the extrude. So the extrude depth, it will be 5. Okay. Or else like, yeah, we can extrude for the entire part because it is the same height, right? So we can go for the two selected, select the surface. Okay, so then we can pattern this. Go for the pattern, axis pattern, go for the axis display, and select the central axis. Okay, central axis. Okay. So here I think it is 20. So let's check that. Yeah, axis numbers of 20, equally spaced, and then okay. So yeah, we have completed this part. Okay, so then we need to create this whole feature. Okay, so yeah, the so yeah, here we can see. Okay, so let's go for the sketch view for that. So let's use this datum 3 for the planes here. Okay, this datum 3 as my reference sketch, and then go for the sketch. So let's turn off all these except the plane. Okay, so here at first I'm going to take a reference from the surface, and then I'm going to place a point on the midline. Is and then this angle they have provided for the center point is 10. So let's create a center point like center line like this, and then like yeah, we need to add angle for this. So from here till here it will be 10. I think they are mentioned like this. Yeah. Okay, so then like I'm going to draw a rectangle, slanted rectangle from here till here like this. So we need to know the distance value. So this like um so this distance value, let's check that is available. Okay, so they have not provided distance value. Instead of that, they have provided as entire depth as 10. So I'm going to assign this length as 10, and we can adjust this value for like this. Okay, so yeah, it's fine for me. I don't want to adjust this value because this it's a kind of old feature, like right. We don't want to exclude that, so there will be no problem for this. Okay, right, we are just going to evolve this. So here, like this entire value is 10, but I need a value of 5 because we are going to revolve this feature. And let's check whether yeah. So for this bottom, okay, an increase because I don't want this. Okay, so it is 15. So now let's click on OK and let's go for the revolve. So it is created around this. Okay, go for the remove material. Okay, created up to the reference. Okay, okay, it looks good, but if you want to change that, you can also go for the sketch and you can edit that. Like for me, that's fine. But let's go for the sketch again. Let's go for the sketch view for the one more time because this slanted value as a depth of 5, so I don't want this. I can change this as 18 or 16. Sorry, yeah, okay, 16. So this is okay for me. So I'm just going to click OK here. And yeah, so we have created a part here. Okay. So now we can pattern this revolve as axis pattern. Go for the axis view. Select the central axis. Then this will be the central axis. Okay. So here, let's see the axis pattern number. Yeah, axis pattern as a 10 members. So enter a value of 10, equally spaced, and then okay. So we have created our part. Okay, let's see like whether it is intersecting on the inner side part. It looks exactly good. So let's go for this. Okay, okay, that's fine for me. So let's make this part like a final part as an active for this. So then we can open this part and let's save our part. Okay. So now let's close this. One more time we can make it active and let's make entire part active. Okay. So let's hide all those datum planes. Let's regenerate our model and let's save our part. Okay. So like yeah, we have completed around 22 parts in all these videos. Okay. Okay. Like I need to check whether everything is completed for this part or not. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we can close this. So that's all, guys. Like we have completed our 22 parts in this. Like in this, like I think this is a part 7 video, right? So we have completed almost 80% of our part. So we just have to create five more parts in this, and then we can just complete our jet engine model. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood what I'm doing, like how I'm taking the dimensions here. Okay. So keep supporting me, guys. Okay. So this takes me around like, yeah, it may be like 8 hours to eight, or it's more than 8 hours. Like it takes more than 10 hours for completing this entire part. Okay. Even though I have practiced this before. Okay. So it takes me more time. So keep on supporting me. I will upload videos based on anything, like based on Creo or Power BI, or like I have an idea for creating videos on SolidWorks. Okay, so like I am an intermediate guy in SolidWorks, so that I can't able to create videos on SolidWorks. So I will work on that, and I will create more videos like, based on this Creo. And like I have received some comments like put a video on perimeter and then like a drawing format tools. Okay, so I will definitely put videos on those comments based on those comments. Or if you have to know about something about the specific tool, you can comment below. Or else if you need to know about exactly about the section tool, you can comment below. I will put separate videos for those section. Okay, or else like if you have any like task like if I need to do any particular machine part, you can comment below, or it may be like any part, you can comment below and I will do videos based on that. Okay. So thanks for watching, guys. Keep supporting me. Okay. So we will see in next video. Until then, bye.